we are discussing about, that means we are getting explanation about the second lesson and part 2. Your second lesson is energy from the sun. So I hope you all maintaining the running notes, note the important points. I hope you all writing your online exams perfectly. So here, energy from the sun. In the last lesson we have discussed what is energy which is releasing by the sun, and what is energy receiving by the earth, and what is the distance between the sun and the earth. So all these things we have discussed. So what is radiation and what is insolation? Radiation means the energy which is released by the sun. Insolation means the energy which is received by the earth is called as insolation. So next we are moving to the next topic, that is solar energy and the sun rays. Solar energy means the energy which is released by the sun. So sun rays means sun rays already. So here, what is the position of the earth while sun rays? On which part we can say that on which part earth is getting more sun rays? Solar energy. We already discussed that. The earth is reflecting 30% of the sun rays to the universe. So note, first of all, remember this point. So coming to the here, this is the shape of the earth, this is the earth. This is the equator. This is the equator. And this is the Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn. This is the Arctic Circle, Antarctic Circle. So these are the imaginary lines we have discussed in the last lesson. So here, equator. On the equator, the earth is receiving the solar energy more on the equator. Why? Because once observe the shape of the earth. If we discuss about the shape of the earth, this is the sun. If the sun rays are falling on the earth, automatically the first preference of the sun rays falling place is the equator. After that, the sun rays should travel more to touch the Tropic of Cancer, and the sun rays should travel more to touch the Arctic Circle. So here, if we are saying that equator is 90 degrees, means this is 45 degrees. In this way, the distance between the latitudes to the sun is different. The distance between the sun to equator is 150 million kilometers. For example, the distance between sun and Tropic of Cancer will be more the distance will be. The distance between sun and the Arctic Circle will be much more than the Tropic of Cancer and equator also. So it is very far away from the equator. So this is because of the shape of the earth. The shape of the earth is like this. This part will be exposed to the sun first. So that's why it is the equator. It is the equator. So this is the equator. That's why it is exposing directly to the sun. That's why firstly the sun rays will fall first on the equator. So that's why the places which are near to the equator and the region is called as equatorial region. The region or a place which is near to the equator is called as equatorial region. Equatorial region means the places which are near to the equator are called as equatorial regions. These regions which are in the equator, which are in the equatorial region, will get more sun rays and will get more heat. They are very hot comparing to the other parts of the earth, like Tropic of Cancer, Arctic Circle, here Tropic of Capricorn and Antarctic Circle. So comparing to these latitudes, equator will get more and much heat. Why? Because the sun rays are falling directly on the equator. So in that, somewhat far, our India is also somewhat, not somewhat, our India is located in the equatorial region, and Africa is also located, and here coming to the North America and South America, they are also somewhat near to the equatorial region. So here, coming to the poles, poles are very far away from the sun. That's why the sun ray should travel much more than equator to reach the poles. While reaching the sun rays from sun to the poles, in the middle itself the sun rays will lose its power, and then here only somewhat light will be falls on the poles. That's why there is only somewhat light but not heat in the poles. That's why poles are very cold. In the temperature which is in the pole area, polar region, it is in the minus degree Celsius. So this is the solar energy and the sun rays falling on the earth. And coming to the heat balance, heat balance. Heat balance. In the heat, first of all, we have to discuss 3 points in the heat. One is land and water. Second part is temperature. Third one is balance of heat. Balance of heat. First, we have to discuss about these three things according to the heat. According to the heat, there are 3 main topics. First one is land and water. Second one is temperature. Third one is balance of the energy which is coming from the sun. The energy which is released by the sun is falling on the earth. The surface of the earth is like a mirror, we discussed already. This mirror is reflecting 30% of the energy of the sun is reflected to the universe. We discussed. So this reflection of the earth, or this reflection of the sun rays to the universe, before going to the universe, there is a layer of the atmosphere in the middle. This atmosphere which is in the middle of the reflection, in the way of sun rays going into the universe, the sun rays, the heat of the sun rays will be heat the atmosphere. The atmosphere will get the impact of the reflection of the earth of sun rays. So in that way, the atmosphere is also getting impact of the sun rays, sun's heat, solar energy. So in this way, atmosphere is heated, and this heat is passing air. The normally atmosphere is air. This nitrogen, oxygen, all these are passing from one place to another place, and this heat is also passing from one place to another place. and this heat is passing to the air, gases, clouds, trees, and the land. So completely, the complete area, the air is passing through, the complete area is heated because of this heat, solar energy. So next one, balance of the heat. Balance of the heat means how the heat is balanced. So balancing of heat is balancing of the heat, how the heat is balanced. So in the first topic we have discussed that land and water. The land is getting heat very soon and getting cool very soon. The same way water is getting heat gradually and getting cool gradually. There is no sooning, that there is no fastness. So this is very soon and this is very slow. So these both are balancing the heat. When the land is balanced, when the land is heated, at that time the coolness of the water and the heat will be balanced. When the water is heated, at that time land will be cooled. So this coolness and this heat will be balanced. So otherwise, if the land is heat, the water is also heat, means the people who are living on the land and surrounding areas of the water will face so many problems. So this is the heat balancing. This is the heat balance. So there is an important thing under the atmosphere. Atmosphere is the changes of the atmosphere can cause global warming. Global warming is nothing but, if we discuss that the impact of the solar energy while reflection, the atmosphere will get the heat, more heat. So this heat is transformed from one place to another place with the help of the gases in the air. So if the heat is more in the atmosphere, means automatically at the places of the poles, the poles are getting very low sun rays. That's why the water which is present there is in the form of ice or in the form of snow. So when the atmosphere is always is maintaining much heat, means the ice which is in the polar regions will get melted, and these melting ice will form like streams and it will flow into the sloping areas. The water which is melting from the water which is coming from the melting of ices, it will cause the cyclonic conditions, and it will create the famine condition in the surrounding areas. This water which is melting will go to the oceans, and the oceans and the water bodies will mix up. At that situation, there won't be one drop also for the agriculture. So the salt water is useless for the agriculture. Only water bodies are useful. The good and drinking pure water will be mixed. When the pure water will mix into the ocean, means these pure water will also change into the salt water, and complete all the oceans and the rivers, the water bodies will change into the salt water, and this water is completely useless for the agriculture. At that situation, the mankind which is living on the earth will get the lack of food, and the same position, the water content on the earth will be increased by melting of the ice. Then the land on the earth is very low, that's why the water will crush out the land, and then the land will get the cyclones, famine conditions, disasters. This is called as completely global warming. So in the atmosphere, the heat balance is very important, and the increasing of the heat in